Good morning, world. I am Judy, your web-based therapist, making therapy accessible and convenient for our clients in Florida and New York, and of course, sharing information worldwide. Today, I want to take a moment and talk about 5 self-soothing techniques that can help with reducing or alleviating anxiety. They don't necessarily replace your anxiety treatment that you're doing. It's just that something that you can use in a pinch, and whether or not you have a diagnosed anxiety disorder or you don't have any, or this is just everyday anxiety that you're experiencing because of a specific situation that's anxiety producing. But before I get into that, I want to take a quick moment and say, if you are subscribed, thank you so much for being a part of our awesome world. If you're not yet subscribed, please take a moment and click the subscribe button below so that you can join all this awesomeness. And remember to tick the bell so that you are notified when I post new videos so that you don't miss anything. And of course, if you'd like to purchase 1 or 3 of my books, there's also a link below that will take you to a site that shows you all your different options of places where you could get 1 or 3 of my books. Alrighty, let's get back to it. First is conscious or controlled breathing. There are so many different breathing techniques that you can learn. And if you just looked on, since you're here on YouTube, after you watch my video and a couple more, you can always look up, just search for breathing techniques. There are a lot of different ones that you can use. But the most basic one that I like to use is just your basic in 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4. Just taking the time and being conscious of your breathing and controlling your breathing can help with reducing anxiety. Of course, recently one of my clients told me that controlled breathing didn't work for her, that sometimes controlled breathing made her feel even more anxious because she was so focused on it. But that is one of the techniques that work for most people, where you take the time in taking deep breaths and taking your time and exhaling. That is one of the techniques that usually is helpful and self-soothing for many people. 2, create a calming mantra. And this is your words of affirmation that you're saying to yourself, engaging in that positive self-talk, providing that reassurance to yourself, whether it's yourself, the adult, or the little baby within you who needs that reassurance at that moment. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as, I'm okay. Whatever the words are that you need to hear in that moment to help you get back to your center. Whatever the words are that you need to hear in order to help you get back to your calm space. That's what your mantra should be. It doesn't it's not no Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. It's the words that you need. I'm okay. I got this. Like my mantra everything is I got this. Okay. That for me is enough. Something simple, something basic that you can repeat, that you don't have to sit there and remember a whole paragraph of a mantra. No, something simple, something that works for you. Calm down is not one of them. A lot of times, especially when people start having a panic attack, people are always quick to say, calm down, just stop it. Like, if they could, they would have. Some words of reassurance. I'm okay. I got this. I know this. Sometimes, a lot of times when you're getting ready to go into a presentation or some type of situation that can be anxiety producing where you have to perform, something like, this information when you're going into a test and that anxiety starts to kick in, reminding yourself that this information, that you've done this before, that you can do this. Whatever the words are that you need to hear in order to remind you that you're safe, that you're in a good space, that you got this, that you're okay. Those are the words that need to be included in your mantra. 3, a physical release. Things like walking, stretching, dancing, depending on where you are. Whatever ways that you can take an opportunity, take a moment to get a physical release of that anxiety can be very helpful. If sometimes you'll see some people like to pace. Some people are pace thinkers, and for some people, Pacing is a good way to help them release their anxiety. Some people like having in a previous video, I know I mentioned how these things that you can use, like the poppers or the stress balls or things like that, something that you're doing physically to help you release or address the anxiety, to help you deal with the anxiety. Anything. Walking is one of the favorites. A lot of people like that, and it seems to work very well. Stretching is another one, and stretching can be combined with your mantra as well as with your deep breathing. Those things can be very helpful. 4, changing your focus. That's probably the hardest one of all, because when you're in that moment of anxiety, especially if you're having a panic attack and you can't breathe, your brain wants to focus on, I can't breathe, I need to breathe. As a person with asthma, I've been there, where it feels like there's not enough air in the world. And the only thing that you can think of is, how do I get my next breath? But one thing that does help, if you can manage to do it, is changing your focus. You would do that by picking something else to take your attention to. If you're experiencing anxiety over maybe a performance, maybe a presentation that you have to do, finding something else to focus your attention on. This could be, hey, maybe instead of focusing on this particular presentation, you're going to focus on a conversation. You're going to focus on engaging with a specific person in the group. You're going to focus on a different task. You're going to focus on anything that can help you change your focus from what is causing the anxiety to something that helps you be in a calmer space so that you can resume whatever the activity is in your calmer state. Finally, using pressure points. And there are different ones. And if you look for pressure points for anxiety online, you'll find so many different ones. And there are quite a few that are in your hands. Those are easiest to use for if you're in a situation where you can't just, start stretching and walking or whatever. But using pressure points can be something discreet that you do. For some reason, I've always, even before I knew about pressure points, I've always had this thing where I don't know why, I like to do this. I'm always messing with this part of my hand. And I learned that there is a pressure point there that can help. And there's one here, depending on which website or who you're asking. There's in your inner arm. And one of the ones that I know is the right there in between the eyes. The EFT tapping points are usually I believe all the EFT tapping points are pressure points. And I learned this when I was going through physical therapy for headaches. But sometimes they taught me how to do neck stretches, like stretching to this side and then stretching to that side. I find that can be very relaxing and that can be very helpful as well. And look for a pressure point. Find out, learn some pressure points and apply them. Whether you're going to be doing this one, or my favorite, this one. Pressure points are a good way to help relieve anxiety. Let's do a quick recap. 1, conscious or controlled breathing, taking the time to really focus on your breaths and making sure that you're taking deep breaths in and deep breath out. In 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4 is one of my favorites. To create a calming mantra, take the time and engage in that positive self-talk and giving yourself that reassurance. I'm okay is something as simple as I'm okay or I got this is good enough if that's what you need to hear to help you get back to your space, your calm space. 3, physical releases such as taking a walk or stretching or whatever it is, whatever physical activity that you can engage in that will help you release a little bit of anxiety. 4, changing your focus. That's the hardest of all of them, in my opinion. However, being able to shift your focus from whatever the issue is that is anxiety producing to something else can be helpful. However, I am very much aware that it is probably the hardest one of all. And finally, using pressure points. There are a number of them. You can always look them up online, but My favorite is this one right here. And there are some in the below the hand thingy. I don't even remember. I don't know what they're called, but like right here and right there, I believe those are also pressure points, but I like this one. Yeah, that's it. As always, if you or someone you know happens to be going through something that's more than you can handle, please remember that there are professionals like myself who are available, able, and willing to help, and are even providing remote services who can assist with whatever you may have going on. So please figure out who those people are in your community so that if you need them, you can reach out and get the help that you need. And that is all we have for today. Good morning, world. Have an awesome day.